y'all, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking all about how to sim races. So what is simming a race? How often should you sim the race? And then several things that you should be doing every time you sim. Let's go. So first off, what is a sim? That just means that you're going to simulate the race. This is simulating a race in the best and closest way that you can. This is getting a good feel for the event flow, pacing, and the actual feel of the race. As close to the actual race equipment is best. If you obviously have all the race equipment at an affiliate gym, awesome. If not, that's okay. Try to match it as best you can. But the idea is to get super close. This goes for the running too. So making sure that the running laps or lanes or down and back, whatever you have available to you is close to accurate. If you have to jump on a treadmill, that's totally fine too. Just try to account for those transition times and stuff, because sometimes starting up a treadmill, if it's a classic regular old treadmill, can take a little while. So those transition times are going to inflate your numbers a little bit. But you get the idea. In a sim, you are doing the race, but kind of a home version of it, just so you can get the full feel of the race before the race day. So one question I get asked a lot is, how often should you sim? And this is honestly up to you, but I typically recommend every 2 to 3 weeks is really kind of the golden zone. Because hybrid training is so demanding on the body, we want to honor that 80-20 principle. 80% of the time we should be easy to moderate efforts, and 20% of the time we're gonna peak into those higher intensity ranges in our training. So when we're doing that, if we're simming every single weekend, or if we're simming multiple times a week, I've had people who talk to me who do sims multiple times a week, and that is incredibly taxing on the body, and you can't recover from those efforts. So please don't sim that often. But it is important to sim at least every 2 weeks. And if you have to stretch that a little longer too, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, whatever that works for you and your schedules. But as you're leading up to a race day, I ideally like to put a sim 2 weeks prior of the exact event I'll be doing later in the month. So making sure that you hit that sim before, just to set the pace, find the feel, and find a good flow that will work for you come race day. And yes, if you're in the middle of race qualifying season where you have races back-to-back weekends and multiple events on, given days or back-to-back days, that's okay. It's all right to do that kind of intensity for multiple days in a row. You just have to really watch your training intensity the weeks between back-to-back weekends like that, because you don't want to hit the 20% really on those weeks. Every week coming into those race weekends is gonna be a tapered week. So you want to really reduce the stress on your body when you're putting it under so much demand back-to-back weeks like that. So the 2 to 3 week principle is good, but it does not apply to every situation, and it can flex a little bit here and there, but generally 2 to 3 weeks. So when you're doing the sim, you're getting a feel for the actual race so that you can anticipate what to do on race day. And here's 5 things to do during your sim to help you on race day. First up is a fit check. Not fitness, you're fit. You wanna make sure that your gear that you're gonna wear on race day is good. Because I have literally done a full Hyrox race in a bra that didn't fit and pants that rode up, so I got horrible chafing all over and it was awful. Do not do what I did. Make sure you test your outfit before the race day so you don't end up in a pickle. Make sure it actually fits you well. Make sure it's not chafing anywhere. Make sure it's not loose or you're constantly having to adjust it. Make sure it actually fits with the movements you're able to do. For an example, the sit-ups, I have several shirts that tie in the back that have those cute little knots and stuff, whatever. I can't wear those during a Deka event because the sit-ups. If I'm doing a sit-up, it's going to constantly dig into my low back and cause me pain there. So obviously, just don't choose those types of outfits. So test your socks, your shoes, your undergarments, your pants, your shirt, any kind of nutrition or hydration belt or vest. Obviously, like silicone rings and things are great. And ladies, make sure you test your hair as well, because you don't want that coming undone during a race. I've had that happen too. Not fun. The second thing you need to do during your sim is a fuel check. So this is where we're gonna test out race day fueling strategies. You can treat the sim as if it's an actual race day and do all of your pre-race fueling and prep, all those timed things before the race, so that when you hit the start line for your race, your sim, then you're going to be able to kind of test out the feeling and how your body would react during an actual race under those fueling conditions. So this includes all the nutrition you'll do before leading up to the race. That is your pre-workout, your electrolytes, water, any kind of pre-race meals, things like that. You wanna make sure that you have that lineup and that lineup works for you on race day. You don't want to be trying new things on race day. And then of course, any mid-race nutrition you need, if you're going to be drinking any kind of electrolyte drinks, if you're going to be doing any kind of gels or anything like that during the race, make sure you test those out in advance during your sims. And of course, after the race, you want to make sure that those fueling things, especially if you have back-to-back events on the same day, you want to make sure that those post-race snackies are working with your tummy. Gosh, my mom talk is influencing my videos now. This is great. Number 3, this is where you can test out splits. So hopefully you've been taking splits and tracking your data. If you're not, check out this video here to help you out with that. But this is a great time to check that pacing and figure out if you want to tweak anything. This is where, like, let's say on the ergs, if you were to add 5 seconds to your ergs, would that help you later in the race or hinder you later in the race? Same thing if I'm doing a Hyrox. Would my sled push time, if I increase that slightly, taking more breaks, is that gonna help me on my runs? You know, different things like that. One big thing that helped me in my last competitive season was taking my time in Deka on the lunges and the row. I added just 5 seconds to my row and about 4 seconds to my lunges, and that seriously helped me in the back half. My air bike increased by, I think, 10 seconds with that one, and then my tank improved by about 15 seconds with that one. So just a little bit of less intensity at the beginning. A little less intensity at the beginning can really help you in the end. Tanner, are you okay? Tanner, come here. It's just a male person. They're being good, sweet people. You should be good, sweet people too. But if you're not used to taking your splits and interpreting data and stuff, then just try to go by feel and heart rate the first time. Really pay attention to your RPE. If you don't know what RPE is, I've got another video on that. Keep your RPE and your heart rate, your breathing rate a little bit lower in the beginning of the race, and then letting that ramp up towards the end as you start to push more and really empty your tank by the end of the race. Sometimes those have been honestly some of my best sims because I get out of my head and I'm not thinking about the numbers and I'm just enjoying it and thinking about the fun of the race as well as how I personally feel at each station. So those are kind of good to do as check-ins just here and there and let the numbers just get out of your head for a minute. But it is good to do data, so do both of those. Number 4 is team transitions. If you have a teammate and you're doing a doubles Hyrox or a team Deka, even the relays, you can also practice transitions with your teammates. So this is great for learning how to pass off equipment efficiently and effectively, great for tagging, staging at the next piece of equipment, so when your teammate comes in and tags you, you're ready to go right when they get there. This is great for practicing communication, getting used to talking to your teammate. Hey, I'm gonna come into the ski from the left side, so you bail right. Or like, I'm really gassed, I need you to do 2 more reps, please. But being able to communicate with your teammate during the event is critical for a smooth race. And teams and doubles events are a whole different animal of intensity. Because you get to rest a little bit, those work segments are going to spike your heart rate a little bit more, So these are gonna feel more like Tabatas and HIIT training because you have a lot of work rest intervals that are very short and very quick turnarounds, which feel very different from a solo race. So make sure if you've never done a team before, sim it in advance. And number 5, next time you sim, if your race is at a weird time of day, like if you're a morning workout person and you never work out at night, but you're racing at night, practice at night. So do it on a day you're available, whatever that race time is for you, maybe a weekend, go and sim at the time of the actual race. This one's kind of a no-brainer, yes, but it is so important and people forget about this all the time. This includes time zones. If you're traveling to your race, like Deka World Champs is in Fort Lauderdale, we're gonna be in a different time zone. And you can also put a few training sessions at that time as well, just to get used to it, especially if it's at a weird time and you're not used to fueling for that time, like evening times. If you're used to working out in the morning, you might be used to working out on a very empty stomach or only one small meal in your stomach, whereas in the evening, you've already eaten several meals, you might feel a little heavier, and it might feel different at the end of the day. So making sure you have that fueling strategy down too, in combination with the time of day, is super important for race day. So just do a few sims or training sessions in advance using these 5 different things before your race day, and you will be ready. And I've got 3 other resources to help you prep for race day. First off is my freebie, the Ultimate Race Day Packing List, so you will never forget a race essential again. Second is my ebook, Race Day Ready, where we dive into race strategy, data tracking, and how to plan your race day. Or third, if you're ready to level up your training, then my program Hybrid Strength can help you get ready for your next race or adventure. And that's all I've got for you today. If you learned something, hit that subscribe button down below, and best of luck at your next sim and race day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!